Well, here we go, week number 5. This is going to be a week we're going to focus on teaching on Jesus, the life of Jesus Christ. We're going to talk about his teaching ministry. And then we're going to talk about some different approaches to the New Testament, more modern approaches. I want to encourage you also on this class. Some of you, I sent an email to let you know that, where your grades were. I'm going to try to update the grades on Moodle so you'll be able to look at it and see how well you're doing. The big area that is so important for you is the discussion board. Now let me just review that with you just so you know exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, you'll have that discussion question. You'll respond to it, and you need to do at least 150 words. That's a pretty large paragraph. So just be sure that you get 150 words in your initial response, and then to each one of the other students that you respond to, two others, you'll always have to do at least 150 words there too, not just a simple 1 or 2 sentence response, but discuss and react to the other student. And if you'll do that, pretty much you'll always get pretty close to a 10. So each week you have a total potential of 30 points. But if you only put 1 or 2 sentences, the lowest grade right now that I'll give is just for attempting it will be 5. But if you don't get all 150 words done, it drops down to an 8. And then if there's other grammatical errors, it drops down again. And, generally I'm pretty lenient when it comes to content, just so you discuss it and work with it. But anyway, I've appreciated reading all your answers and your comments, very well thought out. So I just want to encourage you, that's a big one. And of course, don't skip any of the quizzes. Again, with regard to the reading, you've got to do the reading. But before you do the reading, be sure you download the reading quiz, not the reading quiz, but the reading guide. Fill in all those questions, all those answers to the reading guide. That's for your purposes. Then take the reading quiz, and that'll help me know whether you read the book or not. And almost all those questions on the reading quiz come directly from the reading guide. It's really quite simple. But if you try to skip the reading and just do the reading quiz and try to get by, say, well, I'll take my 2 attempts. Of course, the highest you can get, even if you get it perfect on the second attempt, is 8, which is a B. So if you're satisfied with a B, I guess that's one way to do it, but that doesn't always work out. So anyway, just want to encourage you, as this there's not a lot to do each week, but encourage you to do that. There will be another lecture quiz. I'll let you know somewhat what will be on that quiz. All right, what I want to talk to you about today is also, before I do other stuff and turn things back to you, is I want to talk about what is the key to wonderful relationships. Does the New Testament have anything to say about that? Well, quite honestly, the New Testament is loaded with information about relationships. Of course, the God of the universe who created you knows everything about how you are to relate to one another. There's a beautiful couple of verses in the New Testament found in Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 through 40. And it reads this way. In fact, I'm quoting it, so it won't be necessarily word perfect. But it talks about an attorney of the day came up to Jesus and said, "What's the greatest of all commandments?" And he answered and he said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your strength and all your might." And so the answer to that, what's the key to wonderful relationships, is obviously love. What is love? Well, the Bible defines love right off the bat as God is love in the book of John and the book of 1 John. Love is, one definition, is its self-sacrificing service. I love 1 Corinthians 13. It says love is patient, love is kind. You can almost stop right there. And if we treat people with patience and with kindness, and, without anger, with respect, that's what love is. It's being sensitive to people. It oftentimes is a feeling of affection towards someone. But there's different words for love in the New Testament. One is phileo, and that's sort of a friendship love. The other one is eros. That's where we get our erotic love, more romantic love. Now that word, interestingly enough, is not used anywhere in the New Testament. And then, of course, there is this special word that's almost always associated with the love that comes from God, and it's called agape love. It's a pure and unselfish love, well defined, as I said earlier, in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, and many other things. It says, the phrase comes up in those verses, like a verse 8 says, this love never fails. So the first direction that you direct your love is towards God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And then it goes on. I think what's important is we begin to love God, express our love to God in worship and in genuinely directing our affections toward Him. Something happens in us. Just as in human beings, when you truly love someone and they give you their love back, it's a wonderful thing, that's for sure. When someone gives their love back, when we express our love to God, He is able to express His love back to us. When the love of God flows into you, it's amazing how it changes how you think about yourself. Because the second command, Jesus says, is just like the first. It says, you shall love your neighbor, how? As you love yourself. How do you love yourself? Well, everything goes back to loving God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and all your strength. As I take time to love God by reading His Word, by accepting His Son Jesus into my heart, and by doing whatever He says, He pours His love into my heart. Gives me a great desire and affection for other people that I wouldn't naturally have. But I think the most exciting thing is He gives me affection for myself. I enjoy who I am. As you can see, I don't have all the hair I used to have. When I was your age, I had a whole head full of hair. Used to be able to run fast and do all those kind of things. Well, not the way anymore. That's all right. I love and enjoy who I am, and I hope you love and enjoy who you are. And as we love God, with everything, it's like His love just flows out on us like a shower, which gives me then the ability to love other people. So you can only love people to the degree that you love yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. And that word love, in every instance, is this word agape. Comes from the word, or the verb, agapao, which simply means to love. So that's the key. To love people begins with loving God. So as we head into week number 5, I hope you, first of all, are not getting stressed out. If you do feel just frustrated and you're way behind and you want to do something to bring your grade up by going back and maybe improving something that you've done, I'm open to have you retake a quiz or redo a discussion board, maybe make your response longer, anything like that. If you want to do the work, I'll help you raise your grade. Is that a good deal? Anyway, I just want to encourage you to study for these lecture quizzes. It's going to be all on your lectures. Now, all of these quizzes are open book, open. You can use your notes, and if you'll do that and follow the guidelines that I have outlined in the syllabus, you'll do well. No question about it. Don't forget that the map is due next week, so get working on that and certainly turn it in so I can look it over and check it and give you your 10 points. And if it's not correct, I can send it back to you and you get it to me corrected, and then you'll certainly get your 10 points. If you turn it in the 6th week and I'm not able to get it back to you before the end of the 6th week, next week, you'll get whatever points I give you, 10 points less how many, places you don't get correct on the map. I'll certainly will be correcting them so you can be ready for the major map quiz that'll be coming up in the midterm. Anyway, I hope you're doing well, and I do hope you're enjoying the class. Please do not hesitate to email me or respond to my emails. Thanks so much.